Boom, what's going on, guys? All right, so I'm going to be talking about Tristyn Lee, his diet, his workout, all of his routine, and whether if it's beneficial for you natural lifters or not. And the reason why I say natural is because we really don't know if Tristyn Lee is natural or enhanced using PEDs such as anabolic steroids, right? So Tristyn Lee is shredded and he got lots of muscle, right? From the beginning of the time till today, he's developed a insane physique, super shredded, very muscular, compact wise still, but he's very outstanding. So with that being said, should you follow his advice? Should you follow his routines? Should you go about what he does on a daily basis? His dieting, his nutrition, how he approaches his nutrition, so on and so forth, right? Well, let me break it down for you people, right? Tristyn Lee is a crazy guy in general. A lot of people cannot live in his experience or follow his journey because everyone is different. Some people cannot suffer, some people can suffer, some people can't endure the suffering. Tristyn Lee himself endures suffering on a day-to-day basis. In order to stay that shredded, he has to suffer. He has to sacrifice a lot of things and suffer, right? It's not really like dramatically hurting the body by suffering, right? Suffer comes with sacrificing. Sacrifice comes with suffering. In order to achieve something or accomplish something, you have to sacrifice something in order to achieve that and to maintain that. So what he sacrifices is calories, essentially, right? And if you notice, Tristyn Lee always talks about, I want to gain weight, or he wants to have this insane looking physique. And in order to maintain that, he has to stay in a calorie deficit. And this is why over the years, posting on Instagram and YouTube, he has gotten bigger, but not crazy big over the years, right? Now, this is not to downplay anything. He does put in a lot of work, but if he was to incorporate more calories or just simply eat more in general, he would become bigger, but as a result, he will lose his crazy shredded lines, the definition, and so forth. And he doesn't want to do that, because the more shredded you look, the more insane you look, the more views and the more eyeballs essentially gets on him. And this is what he likes to do because, that's how the world works. That's how people get people's attention. You don't have to always be shredded, but if you look at the big bodybuilders, people who are super jacked and muscular, they grab eyeballs as well. So it just really depends. Everyone's different. So with that being said, should a natural lifter follow Tristyn Lee's advice or lifestyle? Me personally, I would say no, because he is always in a calorie deficit. And as a natural, you are going to hinder your growth a lot, right? Your growth will be minimized. And if you were to eat more, right, and actually do the proper things in order to build muscle and go about recovery, you should focus on everything, not just staying in a calorie deficit, right? So the reason why Tristyn Lee probably is getting more muscle as time goes on while being shredded is because, first and foremost, he does focus on nutrition, not calories, but nutrition. And second, we're not completely sure if he's natural or not. But let's just say if he is natural, kudos to him. That is attainable, but it is very difficult, like very, very difficult. As I was saying earlier, you have to suffer. So a lot of people, especially, who don't like to go about working out or have a mindset or a goal or anything to that nature, it will be practically impossible for them to become like Tristyn Lee, suffering, getting shredded, and maintaining that. It will be practically impossible, virtually impossible. But if you really put your mindset to it, you set a goal, and you do this every single day and stay consistent, you could easily acquire his type of physique, right? I am shredded, but I wouldn't say I am super shredded like Tristyn Lee, but it is doable. And the reason why you should not follow his lifestyle or advice or nutrition tips is because he's going to impact your health dramatically and greatly. When you are deprived of foods, nutrients, calories in general, you become malnourished and you become weaker, and you're going to lose a lot of fat, which we don't want. The more fat you lose, the strength goes down, everything goes down essentially. Recovery, strength, power, output, etc. They all go down when you deprive yourself of food, right? And unless you teach your body how to go about this, and then your body will essentially adapt to it, and then you build up from there. And this is how Tristyn Lee lives on a day-to-day basis, because he's adapted to this type of a lifestyle. A lot of people aren't adapted to that, nor have they ever entered that phase before. It's like keto diet, right? Keto diet is virtually zero carbs, and when you transition into a keto, your body will use ketones as energy, not glucose or energy from carbohydrates, right? So as a result, your body will go through this different phase. It will essentially flip a switch in your body, and you may suffer essentially when you go about zero carbs, right? You're going to feel foggy mind, your energy is going to be low for a couple of days, maybe for a week or so, until your body has adapted to that new change. And then once your body has adapted, and then your body will start saying, hey, I'm okay, let's continue ramping things up, okay? So with that being said, if you have the mindset, if you have the capabilities of suffering and sacrificing, yes, you could go about Tristyn Lee lifestyle, his tips, his guidance, his everything, right? But is it ideal at the end of the day? Is it ideal? No, it's not ideal. If you watch these other YouTubers, discuss about Tristyn Lee's physiques and his nutrition, so on and so forth, of course they give him credit. Everyone's different. Everyone has a different approach and a road and path. But essentially what they all say is that he's not eating enough, and yes, he is suffering in order to showcase his insane physique, which is completely fine, like I said. But to promote this type of a lifestyle to new people, to beginners, to natural lifters, is just insane in my opinion, because it's not, I would say, healthy nor beneficial at all. Like, there's no point of it at all. Now, what he does talk about, and that will help benefit everyday lifters, newbies, beginners, so on and so forth, is the nutrition and workout aspect. I know you're probably thinking, well, nutrition, you just said. Okay, well, what I meant is that he discusses about the importance of nutrients, okay? There's a difference between calories and macro and micronutrients, okay? He always talks about the good about nutrition, the nutrients, the micronutrients. The micronutrients are just as important, if not more important, than the macronutrients, okay? So with that being said, he does give good tips based on nutrients and workout regimens, but should you follow him? Is it ideal? No, okay? His workout regimen is insane. He does work out like a beast. He essentially lives and breathes bodybuilding, which if you do that, if you live and breathe bodybuilding, you could obtain anything essentially, right? So if you have a certain goal in mind, if you have a certain physique that you want to achieve, and if you live and breathe bodybuilding, you will acquire that, because that is your passion, and sooner or later you will accomplish that goal, okay? So Tristyn Lee is a spectacular person, right? His physique is insane. He does preach about good things. He does preach about health and wellness and stuff like that. But what he does, what he practices, is a tad bit extreme. It's an extreme route. It's an extreme type of routine that he participates in. A lot of people do the same. A lot of people live and breathe that type of lifestyle. People who are entering bodybuilding competitions will essentially go about his routine. But you always see those people saying, I can't wait to rebound, or I can't wait to start feeding myself again. And the body, especially if you work out like a beast every single day, needs proper nutrients and needs proper recovery. And in order to build muscle, you don't build muscle by going to the gym, okay? Hear me out. You build muscle by proper recovery. First is the workout. Yes, you got to tear down the muscles, you got to break it down, okay? But the building of the muscle actually comes from the nutrients and the recovery. So if you're malnourished, deprived, or not eating a lot of calories in general, or enough calories, I should say, you're not going to grow as much or as you're wanting to, and you won't accomplish your goal quickly, or it will take a long time to achieve that, right? Because it's a very slow process if you're deprived, right? And yeah, the body just needs proper nutrients and recovery in order to rebuild itself and to build new tissue, aka muscle. So with that being said, you could take Tristyn Lee's advice, but alter it in your own lifestyle practice, right? Everyone's different. Everyone responds to different dieting, nutrition, regimens and workout regimens and stuff like that. So if you want to follow his footsteps, by all means you can, but tweak a little things. Should you deprive yourself of, calories or carbs that much to that extent? I wouldn't recommend it, but tweak it a little bit, right? Everyone's different, right? But overall, if you didn't want to hear all this nonsense, TLDR, his lifestyle is extreme. It's not made for everyone. It's very tedious and difficult. It can impact your health if you don't know what you're doing, and it's just not beneficial or ideal at the end of the day. Like I said, if you want to follow his footsteps, tweak certain things, alter certain things, and go from there. So write everything down, find what's wrong or whatever the case might be based on his tips and stuff like that, and then alter it. It's okay to alter certain things. Just because you follow a coach's program or his tips, his guidance, and so on and so forth, doesn't mean you should follow that 100%. Now, I tell all my clients and others that, just because I tell you this and it works for me, it doesn't mean it will work for you. Everyone's different. So I always give the opportunity when I train my clients or other people that, hey, if you have anything in mind, if this doesn't feel right, if you're not agreeing with this or it's not doing well for this, then switch it up. Tell me, right? Speak out and tell me what needs to be changed, and then I'll change it accordingly, therefore making you more efficient when it comes to recovery and building muscle. But hopefully this video made sense. Nothing to downplay Tristyn Lee regarding his physique or dieting or his tips or anything like that. Like I said, he's an amazing, wonderful dude. He just practiced extreme routines, and that's pretty much it. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this video, please leave me a thumbs up. Comment down below if you guys have any questions, comments, or concerns. Catch you in the next one.